Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to talk about another wonderful diet that I've tried, the FODMAP diet. Now, for those who don't know, FODMAPs are fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. FODMAP was an acronym for that. And really what it means is that there are some types of carbohydrates that are not properly digested, especially by people with GI issues. And as a byproduct of that poor digestion, you get symptoms, unpleasant symptoms. You get gas, you get belching, you get stomach distension, cramping, diarrhea, all of that contributes and can cause IBS and some other functional GI disorders. And so the FODMAP diet limits or removes all of these different FODMAPs. And so there's a huge list of FODMAPs. Well, a lot of really common ones are like fructans, anything with like fructose, which is fruit sugar. So basically every fruit, obviously to different degrees, right? So berries are a little bit on the lower end and stuff like bananas are on the higher end. And then there is stuff like legumes, beans that are very high in fructan. Everyone knows that beans are the magical fruit because beans are fermented in the colon. So they are FODMAPs, but they also produce beneficial changes in the gut microbiota and they produce acetate, butyrate, and propionates. So yes, it's good to remove them in people that have digestive issues for the most part for a short period of time, but ultimately for long-term health, it's not that great. And so that's really one of the defining characteristics of this diet, right? It's FODMAP is not a permanent lifelong diet, whereas some of the other diets you might be trying are intended for more long-term use, right? Like GAPS and paleo. FODMAP is meant to be an intervention, right? You have food poisoning, you get SIBO, you get terrible, incredible bloating, and you need to do something about it while you're waiting to see a naturopath and get actual proper treatment for SIBO, which is going to be antimicrobials of some kind, or you just really strongly react to fructans, like fruit sugar just really gives you indigestion, or beans just give you terrible bloating and indigestion, which beans do it for me. Like I keep trying to reintroduce beans because they're so healthy for you. Or at least a lot of beans are pressure cooked, sprouted beans and everything, super healthy. And again, they produce those fatty acids, which are very healthy and helpful for a healthy life and everything. I keep trying to reintroduce them and haven't had great success yet. They always have some kind of side effect, but the majority of the other FODMAPs have been able to reintroduce like garlic and onions and stuff like that. You remove them for some period of time and then reintroduce them slowly. So it's a very much an exclusionary diet, much GAPS and SCD and paleo and keto and all the other stuff we talked about, but just in a different way, right? Like these are specifically just eliminating the stuff listed on FODMAPs and you reintroduce them. You pick up if you want to do the oligosaccharides, you do oligosaccharides. If you want to do polyols, you do polyols. And then you look at all of the foods that are in that category and then you pick the ones that you want to start eating again. So you reintroduce those to your diet one at a time. And okay, I can tolerate this now. That's great. And then you try adding another one. Be like, okay, I can tolerate this one. And maybe you can tolerate a little bit. You can tolerate one serving a day, but more than one serving a day, and you have issues. I made the mistake a number of times over through my dietary adventures where I had one thing and was super excited, when I was doing GAPS and I started eating applesauce. I got so excited I could have applesauce. And then I got the big containers of fresh organic applesauce. And I ate containers of it every day because it was like the only sugar and carb that I was getting. And I felt great for a couple days. And then it was like started to get way too much. And I started to get like bloating and diarrhea and stuff. Yeah, it's great until all of that bacteria multiplies and gets out of control. And then you have to wait a while for that bacteria to calm down again. Because really a lot of the digestive issues that people have are due to overabundance of pathogenic bacteria of different varieties. And the reason why they become overabundant is either because your gut's not cleaning itself properly, which can be due to a lot of different issues, or because you were just feeding them too much bad stuff. And applesauce, especially like applesauce in a can or whatever, is going to have a very high sugar content. And so it's going to feed some pathogenic bacteria, regardless of the extra phytonutrients and everything you get from the applesauce. Still going to be feeding some bad bacteria, and you definitely have to watch out, not get too excited, not go out and buy like a gallon of applesauce and eat it all in one day and then keep doing that. Like Thanos said, everything in balance. You need to be balanced about it. When you introduce new things in your diet, don't splurge and eat a gallon of it or a pound of it or whatever it is, right? It's great. It is very effective for reducing those symptoms that can be very unpleasant. I know I used to have a lot of bloating and IBS symptoms, and it was like very annoying at work, sitting in a meeting and just having a bloated belly and being like, I hate my life. Why am I here in this meeting right now? And so the FODMAP diet is very effective at reducing those symptoms, reducing the bloating, reducing the burping and the farting and the extra runs to the bathroom every day. But remember, like, it's not a permanent thing. You need to start reintroducing those because a lot of the classes of FODMAPs include very beneficial, healthy things like fruit, right? Like, you don't want to exclude fruit for your entire life. You need to reintroduce the fruits, see which ones you tolerate. The ones that you tolerate better than others, try and make them a regular part of your diet. Then you can try introducing some of the other ones later on. But really, you want balance, right? Like, you need fruits, you need vegetables, you need fiber, you need protein, you need fat and stuff in your diet. So you need all of this stuff. You need a balanced phytonutrients. And if you try and go overboard, like, there's going to be a side effect of some kind, right? All of the studies that I've read of indigenous cultures, nomadic cultures, both throughout history, and then also the ones that we can study now, like indigenous peoples in Southeast Asia, on some of the islands that are relatively unexplored, or not necessarily unexplored, but like untouched by modern life and society. Those people eat like roots and root vegetables and fruits that fall off the tree and all this stuff, but they eat 300 different roots, fruits, and vegetables every year, like 300 different kinds. This is insane, right? Because a lot of Americans, there's plenty of Americans that I know that eat like a steak and potato and broccoli, and that's it. They get 2 vegetables for the whole year. It's insane. You need all of those fruits and vegetables, and you need different ones, like as many as possible, right? That's one principle that is great from the book that I read, Fiber Fueled, that he really stresses on, is that you need that variety. You should be trying to get as many different fruits and vegetables on your plate as possible. But as I said, you can't overdo it and overeat a specific one, but you can definitely, through a FODMAP diet, exclude, reintroduce, find out the ones that you tolerate the best, keep those on as part of your core diet, and then continue to try adding other foods as you're able to. Test tolerance, see if you can add more and more things to your core diet, and it'll just help you get healthier over time. My experience with the FODMAP diet was great. As I've been sharing, it really did help with the symptoms, and yeah, I would absolutely recommend it to anyone with GI issues who are trying to work through that problem of the GI issues that they might have. So if you have gas, bloating, too much burping, a lot of pressure in your stomach, or constipation, a lot of different GI symptoms can respond to a low-fat FODMAP diet. I would absolutely recommend trying it. I will include some more links to books on it, some diet books and everything in the description. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.